Good morning, YouTube. It's Monday. I'm not even sure what today is. I know it's the last Monday in October 2012, and I'm coming on real quick to do a response video. And from here on out, if I have anything that I feel I need to just come on and make a video about the body lift and the healing and all this stuff, I'm just going to label that video what topic it is that I'm answering, so that if you guys don't want to watch this stuff in detail about all this stuff, then you cannot watch the video. But I feel that when I went through this stuff, and in the stages that I went through this, there was no videos out there that I could search on YouTube when I was going through these things. So I've had, a lot of inboxes via YouTube, which I don't know why. If I'm inboxed on Facebook, I'll immediately get on through my Facebook app on my phone and I can answer it and type, but there's no easy way on my YouTube app on my phone to answer the inbox questions that come in, or even really to respond to just the comments. So I'm just going to do response videos to the YouTube questions I'm getting. If you did message me on Facebook, I do try to directly respond to you, in your inbox that way. Okay, so the two main things that I had come up over, since Friday were swelling and drains. And the one I really want to talk about is swelling, because that was something I did not plan for to the extent that I had it in my journey. I planned on my midsection being swollen for 6 months. I knew that my stomach was not going to look like it was supposed to for 6 months to a year after the surgery. I wasn't expecting to walk out of surgery with this beautiful flat stomach. Most days, it looks like I'm maybe 3 months pregnant right now. Whatever, I knew that's what I had expected it to be. But the swelling totally below my incision line down, where my whole body swelled up, I didn't expect that. I was scared. For one, you guys know that I did have my surgery in Mexico. My doctor immediately answered my emails, told me it was fine, told me it was okay. And I'm sorry, when you are scared, even if somebody tells you it's okay, you're still going to be freaked out about it. That's just how I am. I was still very concerned on how much swelling that I had going on below my incision line. When I weighed in down in Tijuana that afternoon before surgery, I weighed in down there at 138, okay? So that was middle of the day weight, 138. I know before I left home, I think I was 135. So, that was my little range before I had surgery. When I came home, I did not get on the scale. I knew not to. When I started swelling up like a balloon, I got on the scale because I wanted to gauge my swelling by my weight. So when I had first stepped on that first day of really increased swelling, I was 158, and I was blown away. And that was the day after we came home on the airplane, which would have been the 1 week mark. The exact 7-day mark is when I started swelling pretty bad. In that time frame of that 10-day, probably all the way up to, I think, the 18th day, that 10th through 18th day was nothing but pure swell hell. It literally kept getting worse and worse and worse. I believe the highest I saw on the scale was 164. That's almost a 30-pound fluid gain. That's how bad the swelling was. It felt like my feet were like a big balloon. I felt like my body below my incision line was I don't know if you guys remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and the girl that blew up, the blueberry one. That's how I felt, below my body. It felt like I was about to pop. And I felt like if I poked my skin, all this fluid would come rushing out. And the doctor explained it to me this. And until he explained it to me this way, I didn't get it. I still felt like there was something majorly wrong. I did not have a fever. I did not have any signs of infection. It was just swelling, but you know, when you start going through something like that, your brain plays tricks on you. You start thinking of worst case scenarios and all this stuff, but it literally was just swelling. But this is the point when I started to relax, and it was I just accepted it that I was swelling, and that I just had to do as much as I could to try to prevent it from getting worse. This is how he explained it. When they do a 360 or a tummy tuck or an extended tummy tuck or whatever these other names of however they want to tell you they're doing, when they do that, they are cutting into your lymphoid system. All those cells, your lymphoid system is damaged after this kind of procedure. What those things do, these lymphoids, they help tell the body where fluid should be going. Like how it should be traveling through your body, like where it should be draining out, where it should, you know, that part of your body is damaged. So he explained it to me that until those things start to repair, I'm probably going to be swollen, and that one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be a lot better. I didn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way in hell. It's going to take me weeks to heal like this. I'm going to be this miserable for months. That's how I was thinking. And then I learned to accept it as that and to calmly get through it, because it was very nerve-wracking and anxious feeling and just miserable. So very high anxiety level during that first 4 or 5 days of swelling. And then the last couple days, I'm like, okay, you know, let's do low sodium. Let's eat lots of pineapple. Pineapple, the enzyme in pineapple is supposed to help with swelling. I had somebody ask me what pineapple does. There's also a pill you can buy. It's like Broline, or I don't know. I'd have to put it in there. I did buy those pills as well, but I was just told to eat lots of fresh pineapple, so I did that. I kept a very low sodium diet. I stayed off of my feet. I mean, literally, the only time I was getting up was to go to the bathroom, because the more movement you put on your body, the more swelling you're going to get. So that's my deal on swelling. And then the other thing a lot of people asked was drains. My 4th drain just came out. That was my biggest producing drain from day 1. That was the drain that always put out the most amount of fluid. When I first had surgery, I had 4 drains. The color of the drainage at that time was like a very light reddish pink, you know, it was like normal red pink blood, very light. It went from that to, within that first week, getting very dark, clotty. I mean, that 4th drain, my main drain, like the one that would drain the most, it was very clotty. There was a lot of clots in it the first week. It turned to where it was almost black. The blood in that, or the drainage, they say it's not just blood, it is other stuff besides blood, but it was black. And I do have pictures of it, but I didn't post them on Facebook because it's kind of graphic, but it was pretty scary. I went through a time where I emailed and texted and all that about that, and he had stated it was fine. It was just part of the healing process. The day after I came back, which would have been day 7, my first drain came out only because it got pulled out. As soon as that drain pulled, and the white part of it where the actual holes were that actually do the suction part under your skin, it more or less got into the regular air, and you could actually hear it hissing, and then the bulb like blew up. So I knew that drain had lost suction, so I had pulled it out.